Hello everyone, I am Mr. Low from Excel Software. Today I want to explain the AutoCount Multi-Location Stock Module version 2.0. So if you haven't watched version 1.0, I suggest you watch version 1.0 first. Version 1.0 explains some basic functions of the multi-location stock. So we will explain some of the more advanced settings and features or settings. So we will cover topics including how to default the entire system, the location, the users, and so on. Without further ado, let's first look at the first one. If I want to default a location in the system, how do I do it? Come here. To see where the system's default location is, you choose option, and here there is a miscellaneous. In miscellaneous, there is a default location. So this is important. If I set it to KL, every time I log in and open a document, make sure you have set the default location. You need to log in and log out once to refresh the system. So every time the system opens a document, the preferred chosen location will be this default location. This is one type of setting. How do we ensure that each user, when logging in, has a different location so the employee doesn't need to choose? So sometimes there's a worry they might forget to select the correct location and then your transaction is already wrong. Usually this function is used together with the document number. Different bunches have different location document numbers. Usually these two functions are used together. So I will show everyone how these two functions operate. You need to set different users. You go to user maintenance, then new. Here you can add username, okay? Username. So let's say this username is also Law. Here is a default location. Let's say this default location is always Kuala Lumpur, then it will be Kuala Lumpur. Every time it logs in, it will be Kuala Lumpur. So regardless of your system, whether your system is set to Penang or anything else, it will follow this location. So it won't follow the default location. So let's do a test. Let's say, see here, we set the default to Kuala Lumpur. Then for our user, we won't set Kuala Lumpur. We'll set our user to Penang. Set to Penang. So when I log out and log in as this user, so Aslo, let's see what effect it has. So selling an invoice, a new invoice. So you see its default location is Penang. Oh, no matter what item I select, the default location is still Penang. But if I switch back to the admin user, then when this admin user creates an order, the default location is Kuala Lumpur. So usually we will mix this document number format. Here we will create two different location formats. This one is for Kuala Lumpur, okay, voice. So you can use KLIV. So the format here is KL/FV. Put Penang back to Penang, PMPGIV. Once the format is set, you can assign it. Assign is done under Manage, where you can assign different users, different formats. So let's say log is under Penang and the admin is under the KL format. So you save it, then let's try logging out and logging into Low's user account. Or go into Low's user account. When we create a new invoice, what if we switch back to the admin user? When we create a new invoice, the next possible number is KLI4. So this is one way to do it. Next, we talk about this setting. Filter by current user location, which means this user can only see their own default locations orders or sales report or invoice report or this report, purchase invoice, sales invoice. So it can only see its own location. So I don't want it to see other locations. But admin or HQ staff can see all locations. Branch staff cannot. So how do we set this up? You see, currently we can see all these locations. So I pull this location out and you see, we can see all the locations. All the locations can be seen. This is under that admin user. So I'll copy one more location. So the IPO location, 3 documents. I created 3 documents. You see there are 3 documents here and I'll change the amount. Let's say this is 1. So we won't get confused when looking at the report. So we look at 3 different locations. So this is the IPO location opened by admin. Now we will do a setting. That setting is for each low-level user. They can only see the document for their location. Let's say they are under Penang. So we only let them see the document for Penang. So here you need to go to Tools. First, set up this system policy. Here it has an option to enable filter current user by location. And if you want to control data entry as well, then you should also check these two access rights. After checking that, so we still need to do another setting. In the general maintenance section, there is an access right maintenance. You must set that access right. If you do not set the access right, it is useless. Even if you fill in these two in the tool system option, without setting the access right, it will not function. So you need to set this access right. So you directly search for filter by current user location. So here you need to set this low one. It will apply this location, its own default location, the current user's location, which is its default user location. You see, it can see we didn't save it. Right click save location. Currently this can view all the locations. Let's save it first. So after saving it, we switch the user to the low one. When you switch to this low level user, you can see that in the invoice section, they can only see their own location, Penang. So when viewing reports, if you want to look at those sales reports, let's see this pre-listing. There are some reports they can view, but it will also restrict them to only the Penang location, and they cannot select other locations. Different branches, usually this kind of setting will be very comfortable. The first time is document number. The document number is already controlled by that location, so you don't have to worry about selecting the wrong Penang location or anything. This is already... Next, we will explain this function called item level by location, which means different locations have different reorder levels. That means when this branch needs to restock, it will reorder from the supplier when it reaches a certain point. So this is ordering from the supplier, not requesting from HQ. I will explain requesting from HQ later. I will explain it in the next slide. So this is ordering from the supplier. So we can set different levels and order from different locations. So how do we set it? Let me explain. Show everyone how the system operates. When you come to this part of the system, you will see stock mall, stock maintenance. So it will have this item level by location maintenance. This function is only visible if you have the multi-location module. Otherwise, it won't be there. Here, let's say we do an example. Let's find an item. You see this view item here. We can see it has 3 locations. Let's say there are 200 left here. So if we set it below 300, it needs to reorder for the IPOC location. So we can stop here.
Item level by location.
So here we just need to set for IPOC. Then we select IPOC and you edit. Here you can fill in the reorder level for which item. So the reorder level is at what level, what quantity you need to order. So each time you order, how much at least you need to replenish, you can fill in these 2 important pieces of info. After filling them in, you save it. So later we will have this stock order advice report. But this user can only do Penang, so you need to switch back to that admin user. On the admin user's side, you can see the reorder advice. Here, I did. Although on this side, you can choose different locations. Of course, if you want to reorder by different levels, you need to select this by location. It will then be based on that location. If there is no stock, it will pop up based on that location. Even though you look at that stock balance, actually, if you look at its total, let's say I only select this item A. The total quantity of item A is actually sufficient. It's actually enough. You see its total is almost 1,200 plus, 1,200 plus. It's just that one location is out of stock, so it suggests you order. So if you don't have by location, it won't suggest it. If you want by location, then it will suggest you reorder. So when you click generate, it will select this location and it will directly help you generate the purchase order. So this is one very useful feature, reorder advice by different locations. We can not only set different locations with different stock levels or reorder levels, we can also set different locations with different prices, selling at different prices. That feature is only available in the POS module. So I'll show everyone how the system operates. Here you will see it has this additional feature, this item price by location. Of course, you need to first confirm whether that module has checked the post. As long as any post module is checked, it will stop here, more stock maintenance here, and there will be this item price by location maintenance. Let me explain. You can set different prices for different situations. If each time this branch runs price 1, KL runs price 2, Penang runs price 3. In such cases, it is still recommended to use the original account's default prices, price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This kind of setting is easier because each time you only need to change 6 sets of prices here. After changing, you go to the pause system options to select whether it uses price 1, price 2, or price 3. But if you don't care and each branch has its own price, then you use this item price by location maintenance. Here you don't necessarily have to set up everything. You might only need certain products that have different prices at each location, or if there are more than 7 prices, then using this method would be better. This is my personal suggestion. To reiterate, this item price by location is a feature only available in the POS module. It does not apply in accounting. Accounting will not handle the location pricing. So finally, there is also this function called recalculate stock costing by ignoring the location. When we calculate costing, if each location orders on its own, the costing can be based on different branches having their own costing. You can also choose not to consider whether the branch orders are expensive or cheap, and instead unify the entire company, the entire team, the entire group, the entire corporation stock. As long as it is the same stock item, you can also average out its costing. There is an option here. Setting the costing calculation setting is here. In tools, there is a stock costing option which we use for costing. So there is an advanced costing option here, and you will notice it will come up. As long as you have set the location module, this option will appear. So this default location can be considered as all being unified. Unified to where? According to the reported location, if you have checked this setting, then it won't matter which location it is, it will calculate uniformly. If you haven't checked it, then it will calculate separately. Each location will have its own costing. Of course, calculating uniformly is less troublesome. So after setting it up, then go to recalculate stock costing here. Only then do you calculate here. So when calculating, you see, pay attention if you want to update the stock transfer again. Let's say you accidentally entered the wrong costing for the stock transfer. You can check this. Check this option and it will take a bit longer to calculate, but it will help you fill in the costing again and assist with the stock transfer cost. In the past, its costing would help you adjust a bit. So roughly, I have finished talking about the more advanced settings. Regarding the multi-location module, let me talk about some useful plugins related to multi-location. So these are some plugins related to multi-location stock, including stock request. Stock request is when your branch runs out of stock. It needs to request stock. He has a request. The headquarters and his branch have settled the payment. He is not ordering. All orders are placed by the head office. After the headquarters orders the goods, they are then distributed to other departments. So that's called the stock request, function of a stock request. So this is a plugin that our team helped me write. So when the branch requests goods, the manager can approve it. And after approval, it will be sent to HQ to prepare the stock transfer. So the next one is stock replenish. Stock replenish is much better than stock request because stock replenish might be based on your usage. How much you used in a week, just replenish the difference in quantity. Okay, replenish it back to the branch and it will directly calculate how much you used that week or month for that branch. So there's no need for manual entry. Replenish the amount. That's called stock replenishment. Then the third is go in transit. Go in transit means I deliver goods because currently when we do a stock transfer, the stock will be added to another location from Ipoh to Penang. When I do a stock transfer, it automatically adds. Sometimes Penang receives the goods 1 or 2 days later, or when they receive the goods, the quality is not right. In such cases, different departments might go back and forth. In this situation, we have a function called go in transit, which is when you transfer from Ipoh to Penang, we have a go in transit JIT location. So until this stock has not been added to Penang yet. So once Penang checks and confirms there are no issues, they will transfer the goods from go in transit to the Penang location. This is called the go in transit function. Currently, only the POS system has this feature. The inventory AutoCount backend does not. So if you want the AutoCount backend, you need to purchase this plugin from our team. The next feature is many-to-many multi-location stock. So what is this? Currently, when we transfer stock, it's from Ipoh to Penang, one place from Ipoh to Penang, right? You can't transfer to many places from the same order. So for example, this stock transfer, if you want to go from one place to another, you can only do one-to-one. This is what we call one-to-one. So if you want to fill in many locations, you want to transfer to many locations at the same time from different places to different places, you cannot key in this information in one document. So what our team has designed it so that here you can go from location A to location B for item A. So here we added 2 more columns. So location A to location B, location C to location D. We have this module, this plugin, which needs to be purchased separately, and you can contact our team. Finally, there's this rack management. Rack management is a bit more detailed. It's about what racks are in the warehouse, and each rack has its own quantity. So you not only need to fill in the location, but after filling in the location, you also need to fill in the rack. So when viewing the report, it can show not only the location balance report, but also the rack balance report. This is very detailed, a lot of work. Only if your team has the necessity for such detail, you would need to use this kind of module. These plugins are also purchased from our team. So if you are interested, you can contact our team. This is a part of our plugins related to multi-location stock. So if you really need it, you can contact us 049672631. Thank you, everyone.